Tell me about middle age. Tell me about middle age. What is there to know? The bottom sags. Milk runs from the eyes. You look outside and what you see is fall. Even in spring, even in summer, the trees have a way of prefiguring chill. And when the sun is warm, you feel both its presence and its absence. Lives can snap cleanly, or just lurch along from day to day like cracked leaves in the wind. And always the children, coming, going, each one like ballast in your heart. Even the sweetest autumn fruit, the apples, the pears, even the clustered purple grapes, they weigh so heavy in your hands. Forecast. The job picture continues to look bleak, according to the radio announcer. And in the side garden, the false indigo comes up fingers first, knuckled and ugly, stumping like some kind of wayward asparagus. A day just like any other in a world, moving and standing still at the same time, tossing its paltry facts like footballs in the air. Along the curb, street trees bide their spindly time. I don't know whether to laugh or cry. The girls were born and born, filling the space like centuries of good earth. Think back to a day. Think how large the days have grown, even sitting in their deep quiet. Think how the sun felt like gold and it mattered, like boyfriends or justice. And think how it burned our cheeks red with the vastness of full. Fathers came home in the 5 o'clock sunshine, sporting their lovely hats. And in the garden, purple flowers raised their rumpled heads and rushed the sky. Lilacs. So many of those nights were perfumed with godlessness. The way two people can exist alone together in a gyre of their own making. The streets were empty at 10, the scent like a wall, the way it flattened us. In the dark, we felt we had been hit. In the dark, the purples shuddered, faded to black. Residue. Yesterday, there was too much room in the world. Eyes, breath, the willow weeping, and always the damage. Words swallowed whole, tremors at fault lines. The sharp, mean memory of sun, leaves gone. Still, occasionally, I find her ballet tights in the laundry. I fold them slowly, set them on the stair up to her room. On the phone, she sounds quite breathless. A paper's due. The Kirov's coming to New York next month. She speaks so fast, I only listen to the speed. It's obvious now, time rushing through and standing still. The sky aubergine. None of it planned, not the wind circling like hawks, not the blight. It's dark at 4, her shins are tired. I wonder, is it late enough to pour a glass of wine? The house fills up with too much space. Each cat now has a room to call her own. I used to love my bedroom door, but now I leave it open. Between breaths, the only lasting solace, the table, the lamp, the thick ground custard of light. What she said. This is for Gloria. What she said near the end had nothing to do with truth or untruth. It was just like any other time, just like Sunday dinners past the salt, and bewilderment too, and then at times mute fear, the fluid in her chest percolating up finally into the back of her mouth so you could see it. You could feel it too in your own throat like oceans. The swells, the salt, the foam, and then the drowning of words and the pooling of eyes. And still the mouth open, falling open again and again, patiently, obediently, taking the tiny dropper like a baby, like a penitent at the rail, receiving the gift of everything she needed it to be. Distance. Distance. Winter coming, and there must be a score, any score, the whole thing ending on a cold day, a hard day, each utterance too complicated to dissect. There was the glass of wine too, don't forget that. There was the overhead light, cruel to be exact, while all around her locusts swarmed, and insults tumbled out of mouths too tight to form them. In the refrigerator, a carcass reigned as though it had something new to offer. She could hear his voice, far away as it was. Between them, cold macadam and dried leaves, the years flung out like line. She stood, rigid, at the window smeared with grease. If she knew what he was saying, she didn't let on. And later, the sheets, pills sliced on the score, nighttime dredged of even the tamest of dreams. Sirens. She has a pillbox, he said, but hair like flame spills down her back. Otherwise, there was a hatchet in her car, and next that ruby patch of poison ivy. It was too much, he said. Her hair spills down her back. Words fall from her like bits of burning ash. At midday, just a windless calm. Somewhere out there, he hears the wail of a siren, and he steps outside, barefoot, without thinking. Hephaestus. Hephaestus, by the way, is the Greek god of metalworking and fire. You have no choice, really. The locusts drilling, wine glasses beaded with sweat, and over there the sun festering, a blood-red sky refusing to heal. Never mind, I have seen your eyes, your hand dangling. I have felt the backdraft of your want. Come, fire of us a coupling. I cannot breathe alone. So,